Hey there! I thought that we would talk about another pen from my personal collection today. And this one I have not had for very long, although at this point I have had it for a couple of months. It was sent to me for review, and to be fair, I have kind of fallen in love with it a little bit. It is the, I'm still going to pronounce this as Asvine, the V169, which is a very interesting pen. So, I've reviewed it, of course. You can watch the full review, but there are two things about it that I particularly enjoy. The first thing is, I do think it has a nice overlay, and that metal overlay gives it quite a bit of heft, which means that when you write with it, it has a very nice solid feeling, which I think is really nice and very comfortable to write with. It's a fairly affordable pen, but in my mind it elevates the pen a little bit because it feels so solid. The second thing that I really like about it, and you can't really see that, but I also can't really operate it because it's currently full of ink, but it's actually a vacuumatic filled pen. So in other words, this comes out, you put in a bottle of ink, you pull that out, you push it back in, creates a vacuum, and it draws up ink, which is a fun filling system, especially on a more affordable pen. It's not just another cartridge converter filled pen, it is something a little different. And that too, I think, elevates this pen a little bit, makes it punch above its weight a bit. At the end of the day, it has a nib that's a simple nib, a simple steel nib. There's nothing particularly fancy about it, but it is a nice fine nib that I have found writes incredibly consistently, more consistently than some considerably more expensive nibs I have used. So I have found this a very nice pen for work. It's fairly affordable, it looks nice without being too gaudy, it has a large ink capacity, and it writes very well. These are all things that I value a lot in pens. And again, especially in a work situation, you may not want to bring something super expensive, or you may not want to have something super gaudy, etc. I have found this to be a very pleasant pen to use. The final thing I will say is they come in different colors. This blue translucent plastic I think is very, very nice. It's a nice color, and you can see everything. You can see the ink, you can see the nib and section, and I just think it's a very nice pen for that specific reason alone. So I've been very pleasantly surprised by that pen, and I've decided to keep it. And I've been very happy that I did, to be honest. So, kind thank you to the company that sent it to me. But beyond that, let's have a look at how it writes. Let's do that next. Okay, the Asvine V169. It's a lot of pen, I found. It's really, here's a Pilot Metropolitan. It's not small. It's definitely hefty, and I've talked about all those things. So let's see how it writes. It doesn't post, by the way. At least not reliably, so I wouldn't want to write with it like this because I think the cap will just fall off at some point. The Asvine V169. It's a comfortable pen, and I frankly forgot what the nib is, but it's a fine or a medium. I don't think there are any other options, and the ink is Waterman Mystery Blue. It's a fun writer, and I have found that especially for the pretty fine nib that it is, it's not scratchy. It's nice, smooth, and I find it very enjoyable to write with. Another thing that I think in this case is a very nice addition is that filling system. You do have to bear in mind there is a secondary ink chamber there, primary, secondary. At some point it'll run dry. You do have to open this up to make sure you actually have ink in there, because otherwise it won't write. You have that sort of shut-off mechanism there. So there is that, and as you can see just now that I've done that, it becomes wetter, right? Like it's a wetter writer right when you do that, because you've primed that chamber a bit. In all, I really, really like this pen. It's a nice nib, like I might be hard pressed to call this springy, but I mean, just the right level of responsiveness. Always very, very careful with that. Comfortable section, could be a little bigger for me personally, but still very comfortable. Nicely sized pen, nice heft, cool filling system. I really enjoy using this pen. I really enjoy it, and I've taken this to work several times. Very, very comfortable, very reliable. So it really is a pen that I very much enjoy using, and that's all there's to it. So Asvine, very interesting pens. Check them out. They're relatively affordable, and I think you get quite a bit of bang for your buck. So, oh, by the way, you can also actually unscrew the section, so you can put some grease on that mechanism should you have to, which is not bad either. So it's easy to clean that way too. Has a lot of positive things going for it. Okay, hope this was useful. Another pen from my personal collection. I'm glad to see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.